At your service, my queen. This is a restricted area. You have to leave. What are you doing here? You better leave. This is a restricted area. You have to leave.
Every bugger I arrest says,
Oh, but you turn a blind eye when it's the Sovereign. Now what am I to tell them?
no one's above the law except for the monarch.
Well, it isn't the most pithy aphorism, is it?
People don't feel
Not
too
making our
secure
job
when their
easy,
leader
Your
goes out
Majesty.
breaking laws. This is no way to get the people to like
My
you.
dad used to say, it's not the criminal, it's the crime.
Marcus Ivy was the fourth ruler to be named Marcus. However, he believed this fact diminished his importance, so he insisted that the letters after his name were merely an oddly spelled surname. No member of his court ever took issue with this, partly out of fear of reprisal, and partly because, well, how could you have that conversation and not have it be unbelievably awkward?
My queen.
A little something new. I believe Brian still needs some help with his gnomes.
Greetings, madam.
None knew from whence they came, nor to whence they would go upon completing their terrible orgy of bloodshed. All that was known was that they came, and Armageddon came with them. They killed everyone, and in unimaginably horrible ways. Ways that, even if they were imaginable, you wouldn't want to imagine them, believe me. Their rampage left the village decimated. And for generations, the few survivors and their offspring could barely bring themselves to speak the name of that most terrifying of evils, Puffin.
Welcome to the Saint. Jury.
Grease one large round cake pan. Combine flour, eggs, butter, sugar and salt in a large mixing bowl. Beat thoroughly, then pour mixture into cake pans, bake for 30 minutes and allow to cool. Note, this activity is in fact perfectly safe and most appropriate for right before your mum discovers you've done any of the other things described in my books.
Any other business? To attend.
Good to see you, Your Majesty.
Wait till I tell Mum about this.
Sabine's history of the Dweller tribe, as dictated to Boulder, secretary, bodyguard, and comrade. Very well. Boulder, I want you to write down everything I say. Now, these fellows at the Bright Wall Academy have asked for a full and proper history of our tribe to sit proudly on their learned shelves. This is important, you know, so write down every word as true as it's spoken. Honored scholars and professors and such, I am Sabine, Elder Dweller of I'll start again, Boulder, hang on. Honoured scholars and professors and such, I am Sabine, elder of the Dweller clan. I shall begin the tale of my people with, wait, Boulder, wait, let me light my pipe. I can't think without my pipe. That's better. Boulder, have you got everything so far, Boulder? Good. Now. Where was I? Ah, yes. The history of our tribe is the history of these mountains, for we were wanderers for many a year before we found a home. And we were not truly ourselves before the Valley of Mist Peak sang its welcome song. These ancient rocks, these noble trees, this honest soil, are as much a part of the Dweller tribe as the children who play in the valley's snow, or the men and women who hunt in its forests. Have you got enough ink in there, my lad? Huh? Have you got enough ink there, my lad? There must be facts sufficient to fill a book by now. I best hurry to the end. So, in conclusion, it's freezing, and it's tough, and it's beautiful. And what better way to describe the life of a dweller than that? These mountains are ours, and we'll fight with our lives to shelter them from whatever storms may come. But the most important thing about dwellers, you must know, the thing that defines our culture and our spirit more clearly than anything else is... Oh, bloody hell. My pipe's gone out. Oh, well, never mind. That's plenty for the Academy to absorb and to study, I've no doubt. Let's have a drink to celebrate, shall we? Just make sure you've not missed a word, Boulder, and we can send it off in the morning.
King Cedric the Just but Fair was a lover of the arts. He commissioned elaborate spectacles at his palace, often with himself as the main performer. He particularly enjoyed shadow puppetry. When not on stage, Cedric introduced several...
Ah, hello.
Ah, a hero! I'm writing a book about a hero. Two, actually, who go on a grand adventure and save the world, and along the way learn something about life and love. And that's the tricky bit. The action is thrilling, the banter is punchy, but any scene where they express their feelings for one another falls a bit flat. I've nothing to draw inspiration from. I've asked passing villagers to express themselves to each other one-on-one. Most give me a weird look and hurry away. And the ones who indulge me, frankly, take it further than I'd like. None of it helps. I don't want to see the crude, awkward fumblings of everyday folk. I need the searing intensity and awe-inspiring passion only heroes can achieve. Do you know another hero you could bring here? A real live hero? Someone you cooperate with? I must see not one hero...
Xavier Smedley is a unique entry in our rogues gallery of famous killers, in that he is neither famous nor a killer. However, I've always disliked him, and it is my sincere hope that his very inclusion on this list will be seen by prospective romantic partners, their parents, or future employers, and make his life difficult. If he didn't want that trouble, he shouldn't have sat in my chair.
Welcome to the... Thank you.
The first core principle of our economic theory can be summarized thusly. Greed is good for you. Now, let us clarify who we mean by you. Not you, at least not directly. Greed is directly good for the government, because the more you spend to acquire material possessions, feed your family, etc., the stronger the economy becomes, and the more the government earns in taxes. A strong economy coupled with a strong government creates an environment in which progress is limitless and virtually anything is possible. And therein lies the indirect benefit of your greed. Of course, given your greediness, in all likelihood you will not survive long enough to benefit from society's affluence, being grossly overweight yourself. But think of your children. Yes, they will be predisposed to obesity and an early death just as you were, but their short lives will be far more luxurious than yours. Which brings us to the second core principle. Quality is more important than quantity.
The Sanctuary shop has some new bits.
Attention!
Thank you so much. It's absolutely splendid. Oh, which one is that? I can't wait to have a read. Marvelous work. Marvelous. Can't wait to read it. You found over 1/3 of all the books we need. Amazing.
Ah, hello.
Excellent! Good for you! You are a most courageous book hunter. Well, not that there's any call for courage. Probably. As I said, the Invocation of the Watchers is in a house in the Bowerstone Old Quarter. I'm sure you'll find it with consummate ease. Oh, well done, well done! Another one!
Terence Posture returned from work on an otherwise uneventful day to find his wife in bed with another man. Unable to control his rage, Posture leapt upon the couple with the firm intention of killing them both. However, his hands found only one throat. When all was said and done, his wife lay dead, and the unknown adulterer had fled. I think I left one of my good shoes there, too.
At your command?
I conjure thee, O thou mighty and potent Prince of Darkness, Almadiel, who wanders in the ether. I conjure thee forthwith to appear here with thy attendants, in this the witching hour of night. Stand before me in this circle, herein inscribed. Come forth in a fair and comely shape, to do my will in all things that I shall desire of you. Do not appear as the shadow. I abjure thee. Here be the seal of Almadiel, by which I command you!
Welcome to the Sanctuary.
By the decimal-based system of subject classification, ha! You have the invocation of the Watchers. Did it, were there... well, never mind. You're here and you brought the book. That's the important thing. You really are an amazing book collector. Which actually, when I say it out loud, doesn't sound that impressive, but still, I meant it sincerely. So heartwarming to see those books coming in. I really cannot thank you enough.
Getting struck by lightning is a very bad thing. Usually it'll kill you outright. You have a 1 in 2 million chance of being struck by lightning. The best defense is never to go outside during a storm. Even safer, don't go outside at all, ever. Find a nice big building like an observatory and just hide in there.
This is the Journal of Dans Maria. I found them. A tribe of hobbs. So far, all is well. They are responding to my friendly approaches quite positively. They appear to be examining some kind of book. And gesturing at me. Interesting. It's been 2 days now. The hobbs are still flicking through their book and pointing, but no one has attacked me. One of them, a fat little hob with a kind of dirty chef's hat on his head, came up and poked me a bit, but that was all. The fat chef hob has slammed the book shut. I can just see the title. It's some kind of cookbook. Quentin stood over the sleeping form and clenched the knife tightly in his hand. Here was the woman he loved. The first person who'd shown him true affection. The wonderful creature whose very laugh made him want to sing. Could he really go through with this? One transgression, what she had tearfully labeled a terrible mistake, For that, did she deserve death? He wrestled with the question for what seemed an eternity, and while his logical mind desperately tried to stay his hand, Winslow knew what he was doing. He raised the blade. It glinted with deadly promise in the moonlight, then vanished as he plunged it into his darling.
Ah, hello.
Greetings, Mom.
King Logan is an evil tyrant. Monarchy, what is it good for? Never should the lives of the many be controlled by the will of one man. Or woman. Seen that. Doesn't work either. Anyway, what we need is a republic! In the past, I've called for democracy, but I was speaking to some people and they really opened my eyes to this republic thing. Rise up to...
You might have a look in the...
Yes, ma'am.
Majesty.
Hello there, Your Majesty. Well, hello there. I could use your help, you know.
King Logan's greed knows no bounds. How cruelly does he fleece our citizens of their hard-won coin through his onerous and unjust taxes? And how cruelly does his lick-spittle lackey, that rapacious dog Reaver, harshly exploit his poor, unfortunate workers? The time has come for change. Real change. What we need is a democracy. I know, I'm always on about republics, but I did some further reading and I really think democracy offers a pretty compelling package. Shake off the yoke of monarchy, good people, and join me in the glorious struggle to create a new democracy. Or a republic is fine if you really have your heart set on that, but I do think we'd be missing out on a few things. As usual, my offer to oversee all aspects of government during the transition is still on the table.
I could use your help, you know, cleaning up the street.
Welcome to the sanctuary.
The rapidity with which industry has developed in Albion is nothing short of extraordinary. One need only visit one of Bowerstone Industrial's great factories to witness the majesty of modern technology in action. However, while visiting a factory, one must be aware of one's surroundings. Stand too close to exposed machinery, and one could lose a finger or even an arm. Or a spouse. In what was ultimately ruled to be a regrettable accident, wherein no party was at fault.
My lady.
Many have sought the elixir of immortality, the secret wisdom of the ages, the hidden lore that the Emerald Tablet speaks of. Few have found it, and by few I mean none, and by none I mean one, and by one I mean me, and by mean I mean imply. Anyway, I have found the elixir, and now everlasting youth is mine. At last the ultimate dream is realized. To live for all eternity. In that time I will ponder the greatest questions, such as, do I stay my current age from now on? Or could I actually be younger forever? And if so, how would that age be chosen? And will my body still change according to diet and exercise? Or is there a sort of implied perfect health that goes along with the longevity? And what happens if I'm shot or I fall off a cliff? Can that kill me? Am I only safe from a death by natural causes? And what about fertility? Will I be able to have children 10,000 years from now? I might actually need longer than eternity to answer these.
Nothing to report, Your Majesty.
At your service, my queen, Your Majesty.
My lady.
Ah, hello.
Boxing is a wonderful activity for boys. The first thing you'll need, besides a mate willing to let you hit him, is a pair of boxing gloves. These can be purchased from a leather craftsman or stolen out of the locker of a boy you don't like. The idea behind boxing gloves is twofold: to protect the boxer's hands and to minimise injury to the opponent. At least, that's what you should tell your mum when you ask her to buy them for you. She'll think you sound very mature. Now, be sure to use that word twofold as well. That will really impress her. Anyway, the real point of boxing gloves is they allow you to hide large, heavy metal weights, which will really knock your opponent's lights out. That'll teach him.
Welcome to the Sanctuary.
Remote locations are ideal for contemplating the night sky, as there is generally little in the way of ambient light. However, these ideal viewing conditions may come at a price. Witness the occasion upon which I went stargazing in a particularly remote and forgotten graveyard. So absorbed was I with the magnificent spectacle of the heavens that when a figure approached, I assumed it was another admirer of the cosmos. I attributed his shambling gait to amazement at the majesty of the stars, his low moans to wonder. I began to pontificate on the constellation Quite Large Spoon Majoris, and when the newcomer did not respond, I lowered my eyes, only to have him attempt to put them out with a rusty pike clenched in his skeletal hand. He was largely unsuccessful in this endeavour, I am happy to report. Still, the episode was a bit unsettling.
Ah, hello.
My queen?
Get about 100 handkerchiefs. Stealing them is an economical alternative to buying them. Stitch, glue, or tape them together, tie a string to each corner, go to the highest place you can find, put 2 strings in each hand, and then jump off. Note, this activity does pose significant risks and should not be attempted except under favourable wind conditions. Even then, you'd have to be completely insane.
At your command.
Greetings, Mom.
Balverines? I've killed 50 of them. with nothing but a rusty cutlass. The moon? I've been there, in a great balloon. It's amazing, and almost never rains. Spells and that, I know them all. Cuisine? Every dish ever prepared, I've eaten it. Inventions? That was me. I invented them. Oh, and I wrote this book. Not impressed? Well, you would be if you knew I was illiterate. And paralysed. And blind.
Welcome to the... Saint. There are new items available. You've a new type of gauntlet available. Rifles are slower to fire than pistols, but can be used to engage targets at much greater range. Ah, you have impeccable taste in gauntlets. Those two...
Ladders have myriad uses, being of great value if one needs to assault a castle or clean the gutters. However, whatever the task at hand, the climber should take care to ensure the ladder is properly balanced and safely angled, and that a third party is present to spot the climber. Further, this spotter should be careful to stand on the outside of the ladder, not underneath, and should ideally move quickly out of the way in the event that the climber accidentally drops a very large joiner's mallet. In retrospect, a more apt name for this treatise would have been Dangerous Things Joiner's Mallets.
Welcome to... the...
Another book for the Academy. How wonderful. Well done. You found one. Capital work, my friend. You have brought us over half the books we need. I've managed to uncover the location of another out-of-the-ordinary volume I hope you'll be able to retrieve for the Academy. Really? You will? Oh, fantastic! I've never been so elated to have someone desecrate a grave. Not that it has come up on very many occasions, I grant you. Always a joy to get a book. Thank you.
The armory is at your disposal. Pistols are less accurate than rifles, but are faster and more maneuverable. That combination is bound to get their attention.
Majesty. At your service. I'm sorry, but we can't just let anyone in here. You have to...
Ah, hello.
Caesar had said, "Take my hand." Hammer had done as she was told, and at the touch of the warm flesh, she felt a surge within her, a feeling at first that she couldn't identify. It was scary, but it was arousing too. She had had thoughts of women before, but never acted on them. Now it was all she could think about. It made her excited as she had been the night she secretly spied on Garth and Reva. They were so forceful with each other, and yet so tenderly yielding. The memory of that night brought a sickeningly delicious pit to her stomach. Her pulse quickened. She let her robe slip from her shoulders and stepped into the warm bath, thinking of the two men. She began to recreate that night in her mind. Next chapter, Dark Wizard, Passionate Rogue.
Welcome to the Sanctuary.
I'm at your command. My queen?
You got it! Fantastic! I can't wait to read it. Apparently, the author, Miss Ilona Pureheart, wrote extensively about the adventures of the four heroes. I've heard rumours of an even rarer work of hers involving Lucian and Jack of Blades, which is odd, as I thought Jack was defeated centuries before Lucian was even born. Curious. Splendid work! Our library is almost completely replenished. And I have some rather exciting news. I found the location of a book I've been itching to get my hands on for years. It's Reva's autobiography. He wrote it some time ago and it sold out instantly. The rumour is that Reva bought up all the copies. It created a huge demand, and so the publisher did a second run, and the price went up. Then Reva went to work for King Logan and reinvented himself as a respectable businessman. The books became a liability, and every copy was located and destroyed. But that first run is still out there, buried for eternity. Unless you are so kind as to locate a copy for me. The book's called Reva on Reva. Not a pleasant image. Wonderful. I am so pleased. There is one slight hitch. The information I've received indicates it's bedded in Aurora, out in the deserts that surround the city. Did I not mention that before? Oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, it'll be a nice trip. It's warm, and I hear the sunsets are simply magnificent. And you'll have plenty to read when you get there. Think of it as a kind of holiday, a literary adventure, a thrilling expedition. Well, I'm sure it will be interesting one way or another.
Ah, hello. The armory is at your disposal. Pistols fire quickly and cause a respectable amount of damage among those who respect such things. An excellent combination of gauntlets.
Awaiting your command,
Madam.
Majesty. At your service, my queen.
I trust you're well, madam.
Reaver on Reaver, an autobiography. Prologue. Dear devotees, you hold in your hands a slice of history, an unadulterated and adulterated account of one of the longest, fullest, and most scandalous lives ever lived. Mine. For the intellectually challenged amongst you, and I can say with some certitude that such a definition includes most of you, my dear, dear readers, I present here a brief, abridged extract from one of my least demanding chapters. I do hope you can keep up. Who knows? Perhaps your dim little minds will be encouraged to consume the entire volume. Not that I care a jot. I have your money already. And should you have shoplifted a copy, or, far worse, borrowed one from those appalling institutions known as libraries, be warned that I will find you and perform many of the acts described in Chapter 12 upon your person. Now, read on, my loves. Chapter 17. The senile old hag was as good as her word, and I found myself magically transported to the land of Samarkand, thousands of miles from the bloody spire. There, my good fortune ended, however, as I soon found that insufferable bore Garth materializing beside me. This so-called scholar turned out to have little to teach me about his homeland, little of interest at least. I had come seeking hot nights, exotic substances, and uninhibited people, and found an excess of the first, a miserly amount of the second, and a definite shortage of the third. Still, my stay was not without its highlights. One particular evening,
if you're not too busy, you might...
Majesty.
Reva's autobiography. Oh, marvelous. I shall enjoy reading that tonight with a glass of milk and a digestive. No doubt it'll be full of salacious ribaldry. Ooh, I can't wait. Oh, and good work, by the way. I hope it wasn't too dangerous or anything like that. You've managed to get every book ever. Well, I exaggerate, of course. There is one more book. One more special book before we can call our collection complete. And it's here. Huh? Can you believe it? In the reliquary beneath this very academy. It was locked away a long time ago, and for a good reason. It's called The Book of Doom. It sounds bad, I know, but don't worry. As long as you don't read it, you should be fine. Assuming you survive the inevitable attacks by whatever awful creature happens to be guarding it. Ah, I knew you'd come through for me. Now remember, just don't read it when you find it. To think, the blessed thing's been beneath us the whole time. It needed but a hero to retrieve it. You will find it behind a locked door in the reliquary. Good luck.
Welcome to the Sanctuary. The armory is at your disposal. Why just stab or shoot your enemies when you can set them on fire? Those two do complement each other very well. Happy casting.
If you read this book, you are doomed. Don't read another line. Not another word, all right? You're still reading, aren't you? What part of don't read another line do you not understand? Well, it's too late now. You've read it. You're doomed. You never should have read this. And I probably shouldn't have written it, actually.
You found it! I can't believe it! The Book of Doom! Oh, you didn't read it, did you? Tell me you didn't read it. Well, it doesn't seem to have done you any harm. Anyway, the important thing is that you reclaimed every book we needed. You are truly amazing. You have performed an incredible service for the Academy, for Brightwall, and for the world. The literate world, anyway.
Ah, hello.